Hashtag terraform it at J.R. Colbert, Neil deGrasse Tyson, hashtag VerseTV216B.
There are people who want to colonize other planets, give us an escape route. We trashed Earth, let's move elsewhere and hope we don't trash that. Well, there aren't many places to move. Mars rotates once every 24 hours. That's kind of interesting. It's tipped on its axis, as Earth is, which means it has seasons. It has polar ice caps, the way we still do at this moment. And there's evidence of running water on its surface. So there's a chance we could terraform Mars. My favorite word of the past few decades. You turn something that's not like Earth into something that's like Earth. So then you just move there. So here's the catch. If you have the power of geoengineering to turn Mars into Earth, then you have the power of geoengineering to turn Earth back into Earth.
All right now. Basic complexity.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And I still wait for just a minute. Alright, so I'm good now. Or at least personally, my biggest fear is that, yeah, definitely we have trashed Earth. That's a fact. My fear is that when we get to the point to start to colonize Mars, that we didn't learn our lesson and do the same thing there. And yeah, that's one of my biggest fears, because unfortunately, we've trashed this planet. So it's not like, hey, let's go trash another one. It don't work like that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have, because like I said, it's definitely a fear of mine that we get to the point we go to Mars and do the same thing there that we're doing here. And the fear is just that we haven't learned our lesson. Because, this planet is about tapped out. That's what I have.
That's a very unfortunate thing that you're saying. Very true.
Yeah, it's sad because it is very true.
Yes. My response is, my initial reaction is, it's interesting how he talks about people using Mars as an escape, like an escape to Mars. And I'm like, well, it's not going to be an escape for the poor. And there will also become a new social hierarchy for what's considered poor when you get there, because it's only going to be the wealthy. So there will be the wealthy who are wealthy on Earth, but there'll be a new social hierarchy when you get there. So some poorer people, or people who have less, relatively speaking, will be the poor people on Mars. Anyway, it reminded me of one, for the wealthy, once you get like a certain amount of money, having more money it's just a game. It's a game. And I saw someone talk about that in my church. It was a film that was being played, but yes, it's like, well, you already have $1 billion. Why do you need more? because it's like a game to try to have more than the next person. And it made me think of years ago when I saw in the fledgling YouTube as social media days, I saw Paris Hilton in a video talking about Lindsay Lohan. And she's like, they caught her just saying to somebody else, because, you know, cameras everywhere, how she's like, Lindsay Lohan, like, isn't she like poor? Like, doesn't she have a net worth of like only $400,000 or whatever? Ew, we don't deal with her. And it's like, wow, that's interesting because that's how things would be on Mars. It's another level. Like even people who are wealthy down here. But I'll also say, I wonder, it's like Mars is like Exurbia times a billion. You know, like there's the suburbs, then there's the exurbs, then there's Mars, which is like Exurbia times a billion. Because it's like you're saying you want to not only get away from the neighborhood, not only get away from the city, but get away from the state, the country, the planet. You're like those people on that planet, the undesirables, us undesirables on Earth. And that's what it comes down to. And initially, I was wondering if when they make it to Mars, like, will they still care about Earth and making Earth better? But no, just like the flight to the suburbs, people don't give an F about life in the inner city once they make it to the suburbs. So once they make it to the Exurbia times a billion of Mars, they will not give an F about Earth. It's like, are they going to care about the inner city once they've made it to the suburbs? No. No, it'll just be one of those, oh, that's so unfortunate that they're like that. Oh, well, I'm glad I'm up here. Anyway, your 1 minute.
Oh, yeah. Just that in general, sometimes you have to be willing to acknowledge your faults before you could learn anything from them. That's what I have.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, people just won't care. And as far as Earth, George Carlin, and I love me some George Carlin. George Carlin explained, he's like, the Earth isn't in peril. We're in peril. We're going away because the Earth has been here for millions of years. And what's going to happen is eventually the Earth will shake us off like a bad case of fleas. And we're just going to be gone. We're going away. That's how he delivered it. We're going away. Yes. You know, and it's almost like the people going to Mars are like, yes, now I live in the beautiful 1 lake, 1 tree, 4 planets away from the sun neighborhood. Because it's going to be renamed. It has to be renamed. It can't just be Mars. Mars is so now it's going to be 1 lake, 1 tree, 4 planets away from the sun. That's where I live. It's beautiful. Anyway, my 1 sentence is, I wonder if X number of times, X number of millennia, people will destroy Mars, then come back to Earth, a healed Earth, then destroy Earth again, then return to a healed Mars, then destroy Mars again, and return to a healed. And I wonder if that's going to be the cycle that's repeated. And until an outside superpower says, you know what, stop, and just brings an end to humanity. jump from planet to planet. Well, not planet to planet, because not every planet can sustain life, but jump from Earth to Mars, until a superior existence is like, you know what, humans, you're effing up. Stop. I'm done. Anyway, yeah, you did your 1 minute. So our hashtag Verse TV family question is question for the fam. Oh, really quick. Quincy Keith said the main told the facts. Fix the earth. Fix the earth. Right now, the earth. Yeah, he said right now the earth is ghetto. That's what it will be seen as. All in spite of all of the beautiful neighborhoods that we have strewn throughout suburbia and exurbia. The earth is ghetto. And that's what it will be. It will be like, what? I live on one lake, one tree, 4 planets away from the sun. You live in the ghetto. Sorry. Anyway. All right, Quincy Keith. I know that's right, friend. All right. And the hashtag Verse TV family question is, if you had more than enough money for a great life, what would you need to move to a beautiful exurbia times a billion Mars? What would you need? All right. Base complexity, are you ready for the next one that you will be first again?
Yeah.